Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a yoga teacher and a mindfulness coach, and I'm bringing together some of these practices to help you navigate sciatica. So in the summer holidays, I knocked my back out, moving really quickly and not being very mindful and rushing. I clicked my back and I was in absolute agony, and it was the day before we were due to get in a car for a 12-hour journey. It actually turned into a 15-hour journey. I knew the last 3 hours how much discomfort I had been in, because I could feel the clenching of my jaw and the tightness of my teeth on my bottom jaw, but we got there. And the next day I made the mistake of going on to Dr. Google and discovering that sciatica has a 4 to 6 week recovery, and with lots of exciting things starting in September, different new projects I was starting on, I just didn't have that time. So I turned inwards and I knew what I needed to do. I needed to go back to my yoga mat. But in all honesty, I couldn't even get anywhere near my yoga floor, near my yoga mat. It was a real struggle to get on and off my bed. Even going to the loo was excruciating. But I knew I had to get moving. So I started off with a gentle walk around the block. I mean, I was really in grandma style, grandma mode. I then eased myself onto the bed and did some gentle stretches to ease out my lower back. I knew immediately it was time to get onto the mat, and I did some gentle stretches, and I repeated this sequence 3 or 4 times that day, doing anything from 10 to 15 minutes up to sort of half an hour, 40 minutes. And each time I could see a little shift. And the next day I could feel the shift. So I upped the practice a little tiny amount, putting in something different each day, really taking my time, making sure I did it at least 3 or 4 times a day, giving myself a good 10 or 15 minutes. If I had longer, I'd have longer. And each day I noticed a little shift and a little shift. And so this is what this next 10 days is all about, is sharing that practice, because the lower back practice that I've got on here is fantastic if you are in good shape in your back and you're doing it more as a preventative thing. But I honestly couldn't have done some of those poses. You will, by the end of these 10 days, be in a position where you have much more mobility and you've eased this all out naturally. Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things you might need. You might need something to sit on. I'm sitting on a meditation cushion, having our hips a bit higher, our bum a bit higher than our feet. It can really help, especially when we're really struggling. Also, you might need a yoga block. If you haven't got a yoga block, you can use a DVD box set, if people still even have those things. God, I sound old saying that. Or a decent sized hardback book. You might need a rolled up blanket. This is for support, or some cushions are very good instead. You could also, if you've got a meditation cushion, you can use that. You're also going to need a strap. So you could use a yoga strap if you've got one, or the strap that goes around your yoga mat works really, really well. Or you can use a tie or a scarf. That also works just as well. And this is, all of these props are going to help you with things like just sitting upright, which we're not going to do in day 1, but we will try and aim to get there for day 2. Okay. When you've got, as I said, got something underneath your bum, lifting your hips and your bottom a bit higher than your feet can really help. When we go into child's pose, so child's pose, sitting on the knees, arms extended, head on the floor. Now you will probably get nowhere near this in the first couple of days. So having a blanket and placing it between the thighs and the shins can be really helpful. That's going to help support you. You can also bring your block underneath your head. Okay, you can also rest your chest on your thighs or open the knees wide. This is, as you get through the practice, you'll have much more mobility. So instead of a rolled up blanket, you can use the cushions. That's quite nice, because you can start with 2, and as you go through the practices day by day, you'll be able to remove a cushion, and you can start to really acknowledge and see your progress, which is a really important part of this, is to really acknowledge and be grateful for each little subtle shift, because you look back after 10 days and you think, God, couldn't even get on and off the loo, it was so painful. And now I'm moving with a lot more ease, okay? So you can use the cushions. So you can also use those to support you under your hips when we start to do some of the more seated poses as well. I'm really excited about this. It was an absolute revelation, and although I absolutely love what I do and I completely trust in it and believe in it, it's really nice when you experience something that you knew might work, but it has really quite a profound impact. So I'm really looking forward to the next few days and spending this time with you, and I'll see you soon.